Exception. Remember, Salune's hut still has a lot of power around it, and there are still harpers regularly making the jaunt to Storm's farm for training stuff. And neither of them is going to take, none of the people who are there, who visit, are going to take kindly to, say, somebody arriving to try and dig up stuff and mess around.
Right.
So there are going to be wards cast and spells used, and they are going to inhibit what you would call common garden undead rising. So you're going to have to get away from Salune's hut, the Tower of Ashaba, and Elminster's Tower, and but once you get north of the Old Knoll and up the various roads with the farms on them, and the other thing that you have to watch out for, and you'll be seeing something of this in something that will be on YouTube and Twitch TV later this year.
Yes.
Alakar in Fox Ridge. You know, I take you back to the very first Lords of Darkness book, REF 5, the Dread Lair of Alakar, and so on. The Grinding Wolf and all that. So there's that, and because that is there and everybody knows about it, as in people who are magically powerful know about it, there are guardian things in place to prevent somebody monkeying with that. So, yeah, there will be parts of Shadowdale where the stuff that you're expecting won't happen because people have taken precautions. But there are other parts of Shadowdale that are just like any other farming dale, and we don't, frankly, have time to worry about things like that. So what that means when we don't have time to worry about any problem, as we know this from our real world, whenever governments and local people in power don't have time to deal with a problem, the problem always rises up and bites them in the ass sooner or later because they didn't deal with it when they could have. Right. And then it becomes a much bigger problem because they didn't deal with it, and that happens in the realms like anywhere else.
So are there big areas in the realms, like for big battled areas that where you would see the rising of the fallen warriors and people who fought against whoever, in the areas that would be reenacted by their spirits?
It depends on how people fell and what happened. If you are talking about a battlefield where a lot of magic was cast during the battle, the answer to that would probably be yes. But if you're talking about a place where the orc horde was trudging south and a hungry dragon swooped down and scooped hundreds of them into its maw in 5 seconds, the answer would probably be no.
Right.
Because of how the ghosts are created, how they rise, and what else is going on.
I would almost say that there are probably still large pockets of the High Moor that are haunted areas even 30,000 years after the Dark Disaster and so forth. The places that have been cleansed and are, slowly being restored, that's a different story. But there are still going to be some very dark areas in the High Moor or in the Fields of the Dead or all sorts. I bet you could probably find an entire village. Think of a ghost town. And unlike in our world where it's empty and you can wander around, I'd be careful walking through a village that's utterly abandoned by the living, because their current inhabitants might not like that. Or for that matter, maybe the buildings aren't there either, except under moonlit fog. Then you can make out the
Right.
shapes of the buildings and the people that are there and so forth. It's all, the story is bigger than the remains of the ruins.
Right. I got a question. If you're walking through the shadow plane, so we know that it can mirror the material plane, but it's shadowy and
Okay.
hard to, the outlines are wavy, or it's very hard to see. Would buildings still be there as a imprint of what they were in the material plane if they were destroyed? So if a building falls, it's blown up by magic or something, would it simultaneously happen in the shadow plane, or would that still have a image, a reflection of that building while it was there, and it takes a while for it to fade?
It takes a while for it to fade. Yeah.
Okay.
When I answer questions on Twitter or
Mm-hmm.
at the grotto or wherever, and I say, it depends.
Yep.
Well, it depends, Jeff.
That's right. That's the good answer.
If you say a one thing definitive, then you don't allow a dungeon master any alternatives.
Right.
But if you say, well, usually this, but sometimes this, and if it was a place where they went to the bathroom, then you have left the dungeon master full freedom, but the players can learn something from what happens to them. Oh, we're all being killed horribly, so it must be one of these then.
As you're being ripped apart. I got it now.
I got it.
Gee, I've never been eaten by one of these before.
Yeah.
No, I postulate that in that if you have somebody, if there was a lag in time, depending how long it was when somebody dies, you could visit the material, you could visit the shadow plane and try to speak to their essence before it goes away. Sort of like a ghost. And maybe it's an hour, maybe it's a half a day, maybe it's 10 minutes. I don't know.
Oh, got a train to catch.
Got a train to catch. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the voicemail of the living,
That's right. I'm sorry I can't be there in real life. Just leave a message at the tone.
Yes, we've all encountered that sort of customer service.
That's right.
True.
Pick up the bone and speak into the femur.
Oh man. But I have to admit, I mean, with all the stuff we're talking about with hauntings and the ways of perceiving it, what kind of creatures? I mean, our regular world has little ghostly dogs running around and doing things. I mean, imagine the ghost of a gelatinous cube. How does that work? Well,
why is my skin burning over here? I don't know. It's but see, you could use ghost stories from real life to put in here too.
Oh,
where a dog dies and the new dog always jumps over the spot where the dog used to lay down, or won't lay down in the dog. So there's always the idea of that there's a spirit there that isn't expected. But yeah, no, I like what Stephen. Make sure you send those to me, the ones you came up with that aren't part of your regular.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah, the Ghost of Waterdeep or whatever it was.
And it's always something simple, like you don't even need to specify, but play with the idea of, okay, a ghost dog that was so loyal to its owners that there is a particular warehouse in Dockward that has never been robbed because this dog has been on guard and barks
disembodied barking dog.
Yeah, this disembodied barking, but it has a bite, which is why it's never been robbed.
Ooh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it's like a chill.
Yeah.
Well, like a chill touch, so it bites and it can do that 2d4 damage. That would be awesome. That's actually that's a great one, Stephen. I like that.
You can attach that to any of the, and it's just the loyal dog of the guy that built the warehouse. It's he's been gone for 100 years, and the dog's been gone longer, but it's still on guard. It's a good dog.
It's still on guard. It's because let's say the master died and the dog was waiting for it to show back up, so it guarded the warehouse until it starved to death or something like that. So
that
is awesome. Well, thank you guys both for making up some new stuff.
Hey, this is fun. This is what we do because we're not sane. I mean,
imagine how much more we could do if we were paid for this. Hey,
yeah. Oh,
that's right. Oh, imagine that. Pay a writer? Or pay a writer a living wage? No.
Yeah, well, we are talking fantasy here.
I was just going to say this is fantasy. That's right. That's right. Wow.
True.
Oh, that's it. There you go. The ghostly editor that never agrees with anybody. That's why he's always arguing in the tavern.
I like it. I think I worked with some of those. No.
Hey, wait a minute.
No.
Yes, there's a
present
ghost.
Company accepted.
There's a ghost in a South Ward tavern that if anyone dares bring in a broadsheet, the broadsheet will roll itself up and smack that person on the nose. They will not have this crap brought into their establishment.
Dear. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Oh my God! All right, perfect. Well, thank you. I have something. I'll get this all cut up and put on the website, and let's do this again.
Yeah, make us look beautiful.
Yeah,
I know it's
will.
going to be hard.
I will. Well, it'll be easy. Let me look at me.
But yeah.
Well,
Can I drop an idea in both of your heads?
Sure.
Yes,
or a follow-up, maybe? How about we tighten the focus? Let's talk about Harper ghosts, and not the big names, not the Seven Sisters, not these. Let's come up with a half dozen to a dozen harpers that are still harping after death.
Ooh,
they don't know how to stop a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, and that could be or they leave clues behind to help travelers on a certain road or something.
Okay. So I've written a note. I will get to it in 4 short years. No, I will get to it after I've done my taxes. So that's end of April.
Okay.
No, that's fine. And just let us know when we can do this again, and hopefully we can have Eric. George is hard to do because he's got that stupid day job in Australia. So
all these people in Australia who need lawyering. I don't know what it is.
I don't. Well, they're all criminals down there.
Oh yeah. They're gonna love to hear that, Jeff.
Thanks
for increasing our audience in Australia. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, see George Crashos. That's the guy you need to talk to.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, we will get to this fun thing again as soon as we can.
Perfect. All right, guys.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Take
care. It. I'll get this out probably by this weekend. It's my birthday Saturday, so I may do it Sunday.
Hey. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy 29th.
There you go. I'll just take a couple of those box
birthday.
sets behind you if you want to ship them to me, Ed. So.
Yeah. Those are my only copies. And I just want to compliment Stephen on his wonderful beard before we
Yes.
And this is trimmed. It's tidied up thanks to my wife.
That's his reverse Kelvin.
I mean the two-tone. That is just like nice.
That's a reverse
Nice.
Kelvin. That's right.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I planned it, but no.
That's
no.
okay. You look distinguished. That's all that matters.
Maybe I'll be braiding it by Gen Con. Who knows?
You should braid it like a
I
Viking.
kind of like
Come
the
on.
idea. Wait, here, I'll go for the Dr. Faustus look. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh well, whatever turns Sarah on.
Well, she has to have something to hold on to, you know.
And on that note, good night, everybody. La 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 la